The ancient world was a tapestry woven with threads of ambition, conflict, and the relentless pursuit of power. It was a time when the fate of entire civilizations hung in the balance, dictated by the whims of kings and the strategies of generals. From the sun-baked sands of Mesopotamia to the fertile banks of the Nile, empires rose and fell, leaving behind echoes of their grandeur in the annals of history. These lands, rich in resources and culture, became the stage for epic confrontations that would shape the course of human civilization. Among these echoes, the Battle of Kassas reverberates with a significance that transcends the passage of time. This battle was not just a mere skirmish, it was a pivotal moment that would determine the future of two great empires. Fought in the 14th century BC, Kassas witnessed a clash of titans, a confrontation between two of the ancient world's superpowers, the Egyptian Empire under the reign of Pharaoh Ramses II and the formidable Hertidi Empire. Ramses, known for his military prowess and ambitious building projects, faced an equally determined and powerful adversary in the Hertidi. It was a battle that would shape the destiny of both nations, a brutal contest of arms that left an indelible mark on the landscape of ancient warfare. The strategies employed, the valor displayed, and the sheer scale of the conflict were unprecedented. Kassas was more than just a battle. It was a crucible in which the mettle of two empires was tested. The soldiers who fought there were not just fighting for territory, but for the very survival and supremacy of their way of life. It was a clash of ideologies, a struggle for dominance in a world teetering on the brink of change. The leaders and their armies were driven by a vision of their empire's future, one that they were willing to fight and die for. The outcome of this epic confrontation would reverberate for generations, shaping the political landscape of the ancient Near East and leaving behind a legacy of both triumph and tragedy. The stories of heroism, sacrifice, and the relentless pursuit of power continue to inspire and caution us, reminding us of the fragile nature of human endeavors and the enduring impact of history. Ramses II, the third pharaoh of the 19th dynasty of Egypt, ascended to the throne with a vision of restoring Egypt to its former glory. His reign, which lasted for an impressive 66 years, would become one of the most celebrated in Egyptian history. He inherited a nation that had known both greatness and turmoil, a land marked by the triumphs of his predecessors and the challenges of maintaining such a vast empire. The grandeur of Egypt's past was evident in its towering monuments and sprawling temples, yet the scars of internal strife and external threats were equally visible. Ramses, a ruler of boundless ambition and unwavering determination, embraced this legacy with fervor, setting his sights on expanding Egypt's borders and solidifying his place among the pantheon of great pharaohs. His vision was not just of a powerful Egypt, but of an empire that would be remembered for millennia. Ramses was a warrior king, a ruler who understood that the maintenance of power often required the iron fist of military might. He was not content with merely defending his realm. He sought to project Egyptian power far beyond its traditional frontiers. He poured resources into strengthening Egypt's armed forces, expanding its chariot corps and training a formidable infantry. His military reforms were extensive, ensuring that his soldiers were well-equipped and highly disciplined, ready to face any adversary. He envisioned an Egypt that would once again dictate the terms of trade and diplomacy in the ancient Near East, an Egypt that would command the respect and fear of its neighbors. Ramses understood that economic power was as crucial as military might, and he sought to control the lucrative trade routes that crisscrossed the region. His gaze, however, extended beyond the traditional borders of Egypt. He was not just a ruler of Egypt, but a visionary who saw the potential for a greater empire. He looked north, towards the fertile lands of Syria, a region caught in the crosshairs of Egyptian and Hittite ambitions. The fertile plains and strategic location made Syria a coveted prize for any empire. This strategic region, a gateway to Anatolia and the riches of the East, became the focal point of Ramses's expansionist desires, setting the stage for a confrontation that would shake the very foundations of the ancient world. The battles that ensued would not only test Ramses' military prowess, but also his diplomatic skills, as he sought to secure Egypt's dominance in a volatile and competitive landscape. While Ramses II was consolidating his power in Egypt, a formidable power was emerging to the north, the Hertidi Empire. This new power was not just another kingdom, it was a rising force that would soon challenge the very foundations of Egyptian dominance in the region. Forged in the crucible of Anatolian warfare, the Hertidi had risen from relative obscurity to become a major player on the stage of ancient Near Eastern politics. Their rise was marked by a series of strategic military campaigns and alliances that expanded their influence and secured their position as a formidable power. They possessed a well-disciplined army, renowned for its ferocity in battle and its mastery of iron weaponry, a technological advantage that gave them an edge in the arms race of the time. The Hertidi soldiers were not only well-trained, but also highly motivated, driven by a sense of purpose and a desire to protect and expand their empire. The Hertidi Empire, under the leadership of their own ambitious ruler, Muwatalli II, presented a direct challenge to Ramses' imperial aspirations. Muwatalli was a visionary leader known for his strategic acumen and his ability to inspire his people. His ambition was not just to defend his empire, but to expand it, to make the Hertidi a dominant force in the region. Their control over Syria, a region they considered vital to their own security and prosperity, put them on a collision course with the Egyptians. Syria was a land of great strategic importance, rich in resources, and a crucial crossroads for trade and military movements. The Hertidi's hold over this region was a direct threat to Egyptian interests. They were not content to be relegated to the role of a secondary power. They sought to expand their own sphere of influence and were willing to contest Egyptian dominance in the region. The Hertidi's expansionist policies were driven by a combination of economic necessity and a desire for greater political and military clout. The rise of Hertidi, however, was more than just a military threat to Egypt. It represented a clash of cultures, a confrontation between the ancient traditions of the Nile River Valley and the burgeoning power of the Anatolian highlands. This cultural clash was evident in the differing ways of life, religious practices and governance structures of the two civilizations. This clash, fueled by competing interests and mutual suspicion, would culminate in a confrontation that would determine the fate of both empires. The stakes were high, and the outcome of this conflict would shape the future of the ancient Near East for generations to come. The battle between Ramses and Muwatalli was not just a fight for territory, but a struggle for supremacy and survival. The seeds of conflict between Egypt and Hertidi were sown in the fertile plains of Syria. Both empires coveted this strategically vital region, recognizing its importance for trade, resources, and as a buffer zone against potential rivals. Tensions simmered for years, punctuated by skirmishes, proxy wars, and diplomatic maneuvers as each side jockeyed for position. Ramses II, driven by his vision of a resurgent Egypt, embarked on a series of campaigns in Syria, aiming to solidify Egyptian control and push back against Hertidi influence. He achieved early successes, winning a series of minor victories and securing key cities along the Mediterranean coast. These victories, however, did little to dampen Hertidi resolve. Instead, they fueled their determination to resist Egyptian encroachment. As the stakes rose, both sides committed more troops and resources to the struggle for Syria. The stage was set for a decisive confrontation, a battle that would determine the balance of power in the ancient Near East. That confrontation would occur on the battlefield of Kassas, a place destined to be etched into the annals of history as a testament to the enduring human capacity for both conflict and resilience.